We're here with Monty Fisher at the Center for an Agricultural Economy here in Hardwick, Vermont. Hi, Monty.
How are you?
I'm great, man.
Good, good.
I'm really excited to be here.
Well, glad you made it.
Yeah, wonderful work you guys are doing. I can't wait to talk to you.
Thank you.
So as we discussed, I'll ask you a few questions. You feel free to answer them, not answer them any way you like.
Okay.
How old are you?
I am 60.
Are you really? Good for you. I have to think about it too.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Do you have a political orientation?
Well, I'm first and foremost an independent Vermonter, and that takes its place that we look at people. I've been in Vermont for many, many decades, and I do tend to vote a certain way, but I always look at the candidate, which is what Vermonters do, and we have a long tradition here of crossing party lines if the person has got the right approach. In recent years, things have changed a little bit. Vermont's gotten a little bit more, it's a little more complicated these days, so I'm an independent.
And how about religion or religious affiliation? Do you have one of those?
I was brought up as an Episcopalian, and our family's been brought up in a number of religious places. No one particular church or service we do, but it's in the family, it swirls around.
What's your job title here in Hardwick?
I am the Executive Director of the Center for an Agricultural Economy in Hardwick, Vermont.
Can you talk a little bit about what you do here?
I am running a wonderful organization that is really solely interested in the local food system in Hardwick. Hardwick and this organization, let me start with the organization. The organization is about 8 months old. We're in this wonderful office space with a great echo, which I'm sure is being picked up on the camera and the sound system right now. Apologies for that, that's just the way it is in these old buildings. The organization was founded about in 2004, got its C3, its tax-exempt status shortly thereafter, and was staffed within the last 8 months. And then more recently, I became executive director. That role entails, as a sole individual doing this, everything. From turning the lights on in the morning to turning the lights off at night, and everything in between. Fundraising, membership, policy work, chatting with folks, answering the phone, working with other like-minded organizations in Vermont, working especially in the communities. There's a wonderful community of Hardwick that's going through a tremendous transition process of trying to figure out, after a number of things going on in its past, not only recently, but within the last 20, 40, 50, 100 years, as it's changed its economic and cultural mix, it is looking ahead to its future. Agriculture, local food systems, local employment, local eating better, local jobs are all part of its future. It's not the only future, but it is part of its future. And we are the agricultural part of that future. So what I do is talk about and help define at a local level, what does it mean to have a local food system in Hardwick and the 8 towns that surround this particular place.
Special work you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Can you talk about your relationship with the local independent community here in Hardwick?
Well, it's been a very careful working relationship. Our board of directors is made up of a number of people who are associated in the agricultural business side. These are young entrepreneurs. Some are 7th generation dairy farmers. Others are part of a new seed company, an organic seed company. Some are associated with value-added products such as soy milk. Pete's Greens is here, which is a very successful community-supported agriculture, one of the biggest and most diverse in the state of Vermont. We have a composting from the Highfields Institute, whose goal is to get compost throughout the state of Vermont over the next X number of years, being done in almost every household and every establishment. We also have folks from the Buffalo Mountain Co-op right next door to this next to this office, and Claire's Restaurant. We have a representative on the board from this. They bill themselves as a local ingredients restaurant, and this woman also runs the local independent bookstore, Galaxy Bookstore. So the board of directors is a manifestation of a part of the community here in Hardwick, and from that, all of these people have kids in schools, or they have long-term relationships, or they're associated with a number of other independent, either for-profit or non-profit organizations, either as volunteers or serving on boards of directors. So we reach out throughout the community in a way that brings forth the message of what I mentioned earlier with the role of this organization, which is really defining and implementing a local food system, both from a consumer standpoint and from a producer standpoint. And this board of directors, we do community meetings. We own 15 acres in downtown Hardwick, which we're just, now it's the old Hardwick, the old Woodbury Granite Company, which for many years was the largest granite producer in the country. Gone out of business, but the buildings and the property in there, prime ag land, and our goal is to turn this acreage, which we now own, 15 acres, walking distance to the neighborhoods and to the schools, into a sustainable ag center, if you will. Incubator gardens, farmers markets, community events, whatever the community and we all can sort of agree on for our vision, we will be working on that. That's part of our definitional approach to being a full partner, if you will, in the community of Hardwick.
Now, just to set the stage for anyone who's seeing this, how many people live in the geographic area you're talking about?
Hardwick itself has 3,200 or so people. The greater community of our definitional area for this organization, Hardwick and the 8 communities around it, are about 10,000 people.
Okay. And what's the orientation geographically? So where are we in Vermont? What's close?
Well, we're on the edge, the southwestern edge of the Northeast Kingdom, which was so named by Senator Aiken many, many years ago, in that it's sort of the rugged, remote part of Vermont, high mountains, transportation systems get cut off from each other because a mountain's in the way, or there's rivers or whatever. Really sparse population, only a few population centers of Newport, St. Johnsbury, and Hardwick, and over towards Morrisville. A lot of independence, a lot of this is the last part of Vermont that still is, very agricultural and green and traditional, and not a lot of cell phone coverage up here, and high-speed internet is slow in coming, so it's got its own character because of just its physical countenance. So Hardwick is a regional hub, even though it's only 3,500 people. There are shopping opportunities here, and there are community events and arts and theater and talks and those sorts of things. So people do come here, but it takes a while to get here from some of the other areas.
Not as long as some places.
Probably true.